What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven, back with more Modded Demon Bluff, and in the previous video, we tried with some 12 and 13 card villages, and we were able to solve those. So in this one, I'm hoping that we can find a 14 card village. I'm just going to play whatever the game gives me here for at least a warm-up game or two, but then I might intentionally just like reset a few times to try to find specifically a 14 card village that we can play and try to solve. And this looks like a tricky 13 card village because we've got a hypnotist, so we've got a little bit of blind mode going on, but also I think only having 4 evils is going to mean that we actually have to try to solve this, as opposed to just being able to fire blindly and probably killing everything. Interestingly, 0 outcasts. This number is going to be a little bit wrong. We will have 9 villagers, and then we could also potentially have a hypnotist creating a counselor, which throws in a doppelganger or a drunk. But for the most part, we're going to be getting a lot of good information here, too. Both sides are equally evil. That's possible. One other thing, I don't believe that the hypnotist has created a puppeteer, unless, of course, the puppeteer is sat exactly in between 2 other evils. Seems unlikely. Both sides equally evil. We find a dreamer. We find a knight. Well, unless the hypnotist created a poisoner, I think we can just stab this knight. All right, so this knight's good. Good information to kick things off. 10 is a real empress. Let's take a look. 1 is evil. 6, 8, or 12. I feel like that's probably reasonable at this point, especially because we're being told that this is a real empress. So, sure, let's just keep on flipping, and we are being told again that 10 is a real empress. Well, now I'm less likely to believe it. Just because the only way that we get a doppelganger is if this specifically is a counselor or something is a shaman that was created by the hypnotist. Those things are definitely possible, but it's also possible that just these 2 are both evil, and this empress is actually evil, and 6, 8, and 12 are all good. Now, this could be the counselor in the empress's information. All of this is possible. 4 cards away from a corrupted character. That seems wrong. It's possible, but here's what we know. That would be either the dreamer or this empress that is pointing back at the bard. I don't know about that. I think there's enough weird information going on that we probably don't have to worry about a witch, though maybe I should still worry about a witch. Let's flip over 8 and 12 and see where that gets us. Okay, the Slayer could certainly check the Empress. That could be one interesting world. And then 7, 10, and 4. 4 is an outcast. So that's certainly pointing towards this being a doppelganger, right? And this being good. Or this is just bad information that the Empress is pointing to, and 4, 7, and 10... Oh, they're pointing at each other. They're pointing at each other. Okay. That's fun. That's fun. This could be the evil, but then what is going on here with 6? The fact that they're pointing at each other does make me want to take a Slayer aim at the Empress in seat 10. That is probably what I'm going to go for. The Saint is also always good. You know, it's fine to have some always goods on a 13 board this big. Closest evil clockwise. That could be pointing at the bishop or the architect, or I mean, it can't be Puka poisoned. The hypnotist only creates a minion. Let's flip over 9. Number 10 is the real Empress again. Again. I don't know about this real Empress. I think this is a house of cards that's going to come tumbling down. No. No. I think that clears 10 and then clears all of these mediums. Because if 8 is evil, then the Empress has to be good. If 8 is evil, then the Empress has to be good. And if 8 is good, then they couldn't kill the Empress. And the Empress has to be good. So I'm not sure on number 8, but I think the Empress is now clear. And they're pointing at 6 and they're pointing at 12. Both seem like a load of malarkey. It would be crazy if everybody's telling me that this Empress is real, but they're corrupted somehow. But how could they even be corrupted? To be corrupted, they would have to be corrupted from this enlightened being a poisoner. Huh. Is there any chance that this is somehow a drunk? And that this... Wait, could it be the actual drunk? Could this be the drunk that the bishop is pointing at, and then all of these mediums are evil? I just don't know how we get all of these evil mediums. So if this is the drunk, are we thinking that one of these two has to be the counselor? If this dreamer shows me that a counselor is right here, then it could be a counselor or a poisoner. But if the dreamer shows me something off script right now, then I'm solid on this. 11 could be the counselor. That's it. Lock it in. Counselor, drunk, and the mediums have gotta go. Cool. Village is safe. Let's see if we can find a village of 14, but I will do one more warm-up here. This board is telling me has a puppeteer created by the hypnotist because we've got 4 showing and there are 6 evils that I have to kill. So half of this board is evil, which probably means this gemcrafter info is just wrong. 8 is a real poet. Sure, maybe. You're telling me 7 is good. Yeah, we know there's no witch, but we also know there's a bartender. So, no outcasts to begin with, but we have a drunk from the bartender, and then we also have the puppet from the puppeteer. So, of the 12 pieces of information here, 6 are going to be wrong, and 6 are going to be correct, because the puppeteer, or the puppet and the drunk, will balance each other out in that capacity. So, I think I'm just gonna... I like flipping things over one at a time, so that way I can, like, easily digest the board. But knowing exactly half of these things are wrong is kind of tricky. Closest evil clockwise, and this is good, you're telling me. I feel like, yeah, we're not really going to get real information until we start killing people. 3 is the real medium. Well, how could you be a fake medium? How could you be a fake medium? You could be a puppet. That's it. So this has to be... Does this have to be the puppet? Or it could just be an evil player. It's just the ba, which means you're wrong. Oh, you are drunk. Well, we had to find the drunk regardless, so that way we could kill more evil people. What did you say? Closest evil clockwise? Oh, and there's an evil 2 away from you clockwise, which means this bishop be gone. This bishop is the puppet, though, which means we found the puppeteer. And this information is actually now correct. 6, 3, okay, and 5. This is a villager. This is going to have true information. 6 was affected by an evil. 6 was affected by an evil because it was a hypnotist-created puppeteer. Checks out. Checks out. 7 is good. That is wrong. That is minion info. Left side is more evil is looking true for right now. Let's see what else. Now we can basically just piece in everything as we see fit. We had a full medium chain there. This is a real medium. This is a real medium. And this is a real poet. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, one more warm-up, maybe. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one, too. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. And I do want to find a village of 14 in this one. No evils adjacent to me. Okay. Number 5 affected by an evil. Oh, the witch. The witch didn't happen. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a darn second. No. Okay. I'm all over the place here. For some reason, the witch did not happen. Wasn't paying enough attention as I was flipping, but that's fine. Between the lovers and the witnesses, one of those has to be the shaman pair. The witness saying this, but how could this be created by a shaman? Only one of them needs to be the shaman pair. I feel like I could activate the cleric, but I might as well stab the confessor first. Okay. Left side is more evil. That would mean among... Oh, and it's showing me only 3 evils. So, oh, the witch is fake. The witch is better ba. I totally... That's a tiny little picture there. I missed that this was the better ba adding a fake witch to the deck view. So all that we have to figure out right now is a shaman. And I feel like this information could very well be correct. But this also looks correct. Number 5 being affected by an evil. I mean, there is no way for number 5 to be affected by an evil. The only evil here is shaman. So, unless... No. Okay. There's no way that the better ba, like, affecting something. But, yeah, we did find out on the previous board the hypnotist turning something into a minion would be something that a witness would see. But I believe that this is just bad info. And I guess this is just a minion double claiming a real witness because this looks right to me. This would be my guess. And I mean, it checks out. So we could double check it by tapping the cleric, but there's no real reason to do that first. I think we just kill the evil people and move on with our lives. Sounds good. This is an 8 board with Lilith and Puka and Puppeteer. I guess I'm just going to keep going and see what the game gives me. Because part of me feels bad to, like, it feels like I'm cheating if I look at a board and then I say I don't want to do this. Unless, let's just say this board will be the last one and then I'll reset a few times till I find a board of 14. That's what I'll do. But I will attempt this board here with a Puka, a Lilith, and interestingly, no puppet. No, there is a puppet. There is not a mutant. The mutant is not something that we have to kill. We have to find the Puka, the Lilith, the Puppeteer, and the Puppet. 4 of these 8 cards are evil. That probably means we could just get stabby here. But we're not going to stab this one. This could be the puppet. Is that a crime? Interestingly. Okay, you know what? I think that actually is the puppet. Because otherwise, the ba would have to be sat here. Because if the Ba is sat anywhere else, there would be Puka corruption for the alchemist to clear. Interestingly, the Puka cannot be sat in 2 or 8 unless this is actually the puppet. I think this might be the puppet, but we could just immediately stab number 5 and see if they are the Puka. I think I'm going to flip number 5 before I just immediately stab it. Or I'm going to stab the alchemist. But I will flip this first. I am the original baker. Wow, people are really showing up with these hard claims here. Well, if this is the original baker, this is not the Puka. We already knew this was probably not the Puka, but this... Well, we already knew this was not the Puka either. Okay, we learned a bunch of stuff we already kind of knew. I guess this always could have been the puppet, and the Puka could have been among these cards. I'm going to flip this one next. We're going to learn the Dreamer. So let's dream the Alchemist and see if we find the puppet. Okay, that's the puppet then. This is correct. Which means the Ba is now still here. The Ba has to be here. That is crazy. I'm just going to kill them. I'm sorry, I meant Puka. The Puka kind of looks like a sheep. Now, I didn't learn any information from the Puka because I killed them. And I think they still probably corrupted both of the informations right here. Huh. I think that's fine. I think what I've done so far is fine. Here's what we're looking at. One of these two is the puppeteer. One of these 4 is Lilith. One of these 4 is the mutant. And one of these 4 is good, right? Yes, the only things unaccounted for are the mutant, the puppeteer, Lilith, and a good player. All of these are going to give us misinformation, aren't they? Except for the solo good player, which will die to Lilith after we flip something. But the only way that a good character gives us information is if they are sat between these 2 seats. These 2 seats we know are always giving us bad info. These 2 seats are always are likely to give us bad info as well. So I think I should go for information that I know is bad and then flip it. So let's flip this one. We actually found the remaining... No, we didn't. I think Lilith killed the mutant. I think Lilith just killed the mutant. This is the puppeteer, and this is Lilith. Yeah, it has to be. This is the mutant. This was just a corrupted baker, and this is a mutant that we'll never know about. Okay, nice. An 11 board. I said we're going to get out of here. So let's go back to the menu. How are we doing on time? 20 minutes. Yeah, I would like to get a 14 board in this video. A 2? Sure. It's going to be quicker just to do that. Here we go. A 14 board. Nice, nice, nice. 6 evils. However, one of those evils is a puppeteer, and one of the evils is a mutant. So this is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for in this video. Let me quickly take myself off the screen, get a clean thumbnail from that. Now let's get to solving. Fortune Teller. Also Purifier plus Puka. That could make for an interesting one. And Minion plus Twin Minion means that this is not going to be super wild here. Left side is more evil. Coming from someone on the right side, you can't really trust it. Let's just keep flipping for now. 1 is evil. 7, 12, or 14. Let's do this, because we have so many things to care about here. Let's just do a little indicator like that. I think that's a good strategy, and that will just remind me that these are the 3 cards chosen by the Empress, which I think might be where I go next. Because any given card is a 50-50 to be good. 7, 12, and 14 have kind of greater than 2 out of 3 to be good. They could still be Puka corrupted. They could actually still contain the mutant, which is kind of a crazy way for the mutant to hide. Wait, yes. Are good. That doesn't mean that they can't be good. They can't be the mutant, right? Pretty sure. It would be the bishop, where if the bishop is lying, they could all be villagers, but that would be a really nasty way for the mutant to hide. All right, let's just keep flipping here. I am 1 card away from the closest evil. I mean, that seems pretty reasonable. That means that the Puka is not here, so that's good info. This could be the puppet. I think we're going to be killing... Oh, we're going to kill this knight. That's the puppeteer. This could just be the puppet. But we know the info is good. Let's keep flipping. I am 2 cards away from a corrupted character. Now, a character could be corrupted from the Puka, and that's really it. And interestingly, being sat next to a puppeteer makes me just believe both of this information. It's not entirely true, but we know this is true. So this could be the puppet, and this could just be wrong. We'll keep flipping. Okay. I guess that's just as likely to be right, huh? I don't have any way to figure that out. Another knight. This bard is telling us that this knight is corrupted. However, if that's the case, this would have to be the Puka. This is never the Puka in that scenario, because then this bard would actually be correct. Unless this is the Puka and this is the puppet and this is a villager. Ooh, I kinda like that. I am not going to be stabbing that knight. Let's just place a marker on that so we remember that it might be corrupted. Yeah, bard lying as a Puka could be good. And it would make sense because they're not in a double claim with a villager. They're in a double claim with a minion. Left side is more evil. Now, I'm starting to believe this left side is more evil idea. Though, actually, I don't know that I am. Because, like, we have the puppet and the puppeteer on the right side. That's a big chunk. Jester. I might be checking these 3. Going for a Jester 3. Nobody is saying that this Jester is corrupted. Alright. Another knight. Now somebody is saying that this knight is corrupted. This bard. So let's watch it on that one. How would we have 2 knights, though? That is the other question we have to ask ourselves. A baker that is the original baker and in the Empress information. All right, well, if that's the case, we're going to find some more bakers here then, right? This better be a baker. That is a baker. Which means, if this Empress information is correct, it just has to be that number 7 is the baddie in this info. Between 5 and 8, oh, because there are no outcasts on this board. Between 5 and 8, there is a minion and a villager. Well, yes, but you could be Puka corrupted. I think this is the Puka This is the puppet. I think this is just a good thing to test. It's in the Empress info when we know both of these other Empresses are good. That was the Bard. Okay, well now we know that this information is good. It's just straight up good. This just probably has to be right. I mean, there's a chance this could be an evil, but it's an evil claiming a role that nobody else is claiming with the Baker Psychic thing. I think that this Empress is giving us bad info. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, Empress. You've checked out now. But this is not the Puka. So this could be the Puka. And this Puka is saying the same information. But wait, but then how is this... No. This knight is never corrupted. Because this Bard is 4 away from a corrupted character. We can stab this knight. This knight is just good. And they are in the poet's information. We didn't even have to stab the knight. We knew that they were good. Small mistake. It's all right. This information is always wrong. This is a minion. That's the Purifier. Wow. Okay, a Purifier next to a Bard is certainly going to push that away. But this information is correct, which means it's the puppet. This information is wrong. But it is next to a corrupted character. How else would we have another knight? How would we ever have a second knight? We can't. What if this is a freaking mutant disguising itself as a knight? There's no reason to kill this knight just yet. Like, we still have jester things that we can check. Oh, I'm at 5 health. I have to not then. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, I think we're going to use the fortune teller to check these things. And if the fortune teller's wrong and the Empress is wrong, then this is just the Puka. Yeah, we're going to use the fortune teller to check itself. No evils there. This is the Puka, which means this information is also wrong. Well, it doesn't mean that, but what do we still need to find? Just the minions. We need to find the minions, and we need to not find the mutant. That is what seems borderline impossible here. It feels like I'm going to fail. But who's our suspects here? Sure. This is a suspect. This is a suspect. Actually, this Empress is cleared by the Bard. The mutant is a demon, not a minion. A minion has to be in that double claim with the knight. Okay. That is something good that we can utilize. This fortune teller had bad info, but could simply be Puka corrupted. This architect, we know, is never a villager, but they could be the mutant. So between this architect and this fortune teller... Okay, wait, I think we have it. Between the architect and the fortune teller, one is the minion, one's the twin minion, and one is the mutant. So all we have to do here is use the jester and see if the jester tells us that there's an evil there. There's no evil here, so this is either this is the twin minion and this is the mutant, but then this architect would still be wrong. I think this architect now has to be the twin minion, and the fortune teller actually has to be the mutant. I think. Whew, that was close, but we were able to solve a board of 14. Can we do a quick victory lap? I will do the next puzzle if it is like a reasonable number. If it's like not 15. All right, 11 and everybody's evil. This is not a reasonable number, I don't think. Who thinks that this is reasonable? It's Lilith and it's Puka. I think I'm going to call it there for today. But you know what? I will solve this board at the start of the next one. I don't want to just like get off easy not solving this board. So we're going to pick this one up in the next video. I'm basically doing daily Demon Bluff videos at this point. I said a few videos ago, as long as my videos hit 1,000 views, which is a fairly reasonable benchmark for how well these videos are doing, I will put out the next one. So I've just been recording daily Demon Bluff videos at this point, and maybe at some point I will move that goalpost to be 2,000 views, and then I'll do the next daily video if it seems like they're like stuttering at like, because I don't want the videos to eat each other. I don't want people to not watch the previous video because the next one's out, right? So I'm just kind of considering those things. But for right now, y'all have been treating me super well with this Demon Bluff content. So we'll pick this one up in the next video. But for today, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.